Andrew Selee is Executive Vice President of the Wilson Center. And Andrew, the center was just named the top think tank to watch in the U.S. by the Global Go-To Think Tank Index. First of all, congratulations on that.
Well, thank you. Thank you on behalf of all the Wilson Center.
There you go. And second of all, what's your initial reaction to this designation?
Well, first of all, I mean, it's always great when your peers nominate you for something like that, and I think everyone at the Wilson Center is very pleased, and our collaborators around the world are very pleased to see this, and we're in the context of a bunch of wonderful institutions that we work with as well, so great to be named in the context of those other groups that we think so highly of. But I think what it means above all else is that people think that there's some really exciting things going on at the Wilson Center. There's some new developments, I think on the substance side, on the programming, some real new program initiatives and energy, a lot of good stuff on the communication side. We're doing better here at getting our message out, and also on the managing side. I mean, how we actually conduct the institution, and people are seeing that. And for us, that's a great honor, and we hope that that continues and we can deliver on the expectations that might create.
Also in the rankings for the first time in the top 10 globally. And you already began to talk about this in general terms about what this ranking reflects in terms of changes at the center. So maybe I can ask you, is there a specific example you would share about a new initiative that you think is particularly noteworthy? And also, how long has this momentum been building?
Well, I think this momentum's been building for a while, and we've actually gone up for the past 4 years in the think tank ratings. Again, we don't know what these mean. I mean, I think even Jim McGann, who is the one who leads this, would say that there's obviously a degree of subjectivity in this. But what it is a recognition by peers, and over the last 4 years, we've seen the center moving up steadily. And I think there's a few things. We have some new initiatives like our Congressional Foreign Policy School, where we work with bipartisan groups of congressional staff for a better understanding of foreign policy issues. Our ground truth briefings, where we're doing some incredible work trying to bring people real fresh information analysis from the ground where there are conflicts and breaking developments around the world. Some efforts, 2 of the reports that some of our programs did in the past year were also called out for special mention, 2 of them among the top 20 that were mentioned actually in the rankings. One was on migration from Central America and Mexico, and their Latin American program in Mexico Institute did. So looking with the Migration Policy Institute, one of our great collegial institutions. And another was on climate change, actually, and something that we're very good at in our environmental change and security program. So a lot of our programs really have stepped up the game and are looking at cutting edge issues. And not only how do we have the depth that we've always had at the center, but how do we make sure that the depth we have is relevant to the debates that people are happening today, and that we bring information out right at the moment where people can use it, and to people like congressional staff that really need to make decisions quickly.
That's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done. And this is part of the great thing about think tanks, but also the real challenge, right? I mean, it's having the depth where you really know something about issues. You actually have some real expertise in-house, and you have a network of people around you who know something, and you have something to say about these issues, but also knowing when to say it. So you time it in the cycle when people can use it. You have the right mechanisms, whether it is going through the media, it's reaching out to Congress, it's doing social media. You're able to get the messages to the right people at the right time. And it's obviously having an institution. I mean, some of our most important colleagues at the Wilson Center are not only the program directors and the scholars and the people you hear about, but they're the people in our administration unit. They're the people who are in our development office. They're the people who do our financial management, making sure you run the institution well, that you have the basis that really allows the institution to function, so you can do this great work that actually makes a difference then in policy discussions.
The knee bone connected to the shin bone. Huh?
That is right. That is right. And we often forget that. I mean, I think we often talk about think tanks as being, exclusively about the people who have the exciting jobs. Well, frankly, a lot of it is the headliners, but frankly, a lot of it is, it's the young staff that are backing up the senior scholars, and it's the frontline people and the people who actually keep the financial, administrative, and development and communication side going of an operation. That really the scholars side, we have a lot of scholars that come through here that just keep the whole operation going in a way that's as professional, as efficient as possible, and make it a success.
Final thought, Andrew, is about the future. You can't rest on your laurels. These trends have been positive. As you said, it's been trending upward for the last couple of years in these rankings. So what are you planning? What's the next move to keep this momentum going in the right direction?
I think we have lots of exciting things coming up. I think the place to look is actually in the different program areas we work. Almost everything that we work on, whether you're looking at the Middle East, or you're looking at Latin America, or you're looking at Africa, you're looking at Russia, China, or you're looking at some of the issues we work on, like science and technology, where we have some really cutting edge work, or you're looking at history and public policy, or women's leadership, or climate change and population. All these are areas where we have exciting new projects coming up. And I think I would look in all of those areas, and I would look in the work that we're doing on the Hill, actually, as a key interlocutor with the administration, and obviously with our colleagues in the media, who are a valuable resource to us and a group that we care a great deal about.
Well, again, congratulations, and to everyone on the team.
Thank you. This was a great team effort, and it's wonderful to have both a fabulous staff team, but also a network of over 5,000 scholars who've been through here, and a lot of colleagues who work with us in countries around the world. I think we have colleagues in 80 or 90 countries that are actively engaged with the Wilson Center, that are just as much part of this effort as those of us in the building.
Onward and upward. Andrew Selee, thanks for
Thank you,
joining
John.
us.